Welcome to the Joy Sutton Show. You know, there are billions of people in the world, so you would think it would be easy to find the love of your life. For some, it is, but for others, it's like searching for a needle in a haystack. So we started to wonder, is there a formula for finding love?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'll let you know if I ever find out. Seems like a pretty good thing to know.
I don't think there's a real formula for it. I mean, it's just finding that person that's your best friend.
Love. An easy formula for that is just whatever makes people kind of happy in their own way.
For me, I want to be in a relationship where I feel like I can actually be myself. I think I'm probably a hopeless romantic at heart when it comes down to it, like most girls, but I believe that everyone can find someone that they're completely compatible with.
We're joined by Dr. Monica Mendel with Selective Search, a matchmaking firm with an 87% success rate for matching couples. And thank you so much for joining us. And as we can see from, just talking to people on the streets, people don't know, is there a formula for finding love? And you've been doing this for years. So what do you think? Is there a formula?
There is a formula. It is not set in stone per person, but there are ways that you can definitely help yourself find love. One of them is be honest with yourself. What are you looking for? Not everyone is looking for marriage. Some people would like an engagement, a committed forever relationship. So know what you're looking for.
So that's really interesting. So there is a formula.
Yes.
So it's not just by chance.
No.
So you have to kind of create it and lure into your life what you want.
You have to create it, and you have to know your must-haves and your deal breakers, but with flexibility.
I love that.
So we find that people should not think, I'll never date someone under 5'8" or I only like blondes. Be open, be
and
flexible,
okay.
But know what you want, but make sure that you are optimistic about yourself and make sure that you are open-minded. That's
I love that.
very important.
And I think that's a big deal because many of us aren't open-minded and we're struggling with this. And the one thing I wonder, you have men who are willing to come to you to pay more than $25,000 just to find a love of a lifetime. And I'm wondering, why is it so difficult? There are billions of people in the world. We should be able to just, to locate someone and just to be able to connect. Why is it so difficult?
Well, there are a few reasons. First of all, people are waiting longer to get married. And also people are very, very busy at work. So they're not making the time that we used to for relationships and love. We are concentrated at our desk, so very few opportunities to meet people.
So we're not really taking that time. And I wonder how much of a role baggage plays. Because you think about many of us are coming to relationships or even coming to marriage with a lot of baggage that maybe we haven't dealt with. Yeah. Does that impact our ability to find the love of a lifetime?
It can, and certainly with the divorce rate the way that it is, when people are re-entering the dating scene 20, 25 years later, it is completely different. Now we've got cell phones and texting, and we have ways of communication that we never had 25, 30 years ago. So it is difficult.
So let me ask you this then. Should everybody be making a list of what they want when they're in this process of searching for someone or looking for this person?
I think you need to know yourself. It's great to be out there, and when you're in a relationship, you want to make other people happy, but don't lose your sense of self
in the midst of that.
So keep on going out with your girlfriends and enjoy your Pilates classes and enjoy your book clubs. That's what makes you you. So the person that you're with will want to be with you, not with someone that you're wanting to be for the 3-5 months when you first meet.
Well, let me ask you this. What is the key thing that you think needs to be in common when you're matching a couple? Is it values? Is it chemistry? If you could put your finger on it, what would that be?
People tend to want the whole package, and I think today more than ever, men are looking for brains. Brains are definitely sexy. So one of the myths that I come across is that they want a woman much younger, or that you have to have a certain body type or hair length. Not true. They're really looking for someone where they have cerebral compatibility.
So it's all about, so you really think the key then is compatibility. Not so much about the looks and all of that, but it's finding someone that you're compatible with.
Compatibility, although we're very visual, and of course that's the first thing
The
you
initial.
see. That's the initial attraction, but very quickly it becomes about compatibility. So do you have the same interests, the same hobbies? Can you enjoy your downtime together? And can you talk about things that are interesting over a dinner?
Well, let me ask you this. Does that mean that opposites attract, or should you be looking for someone who's similar to you?
They both attract.
They both attract?
Yes.
That's interesting, because I always thought, do I need somebody totally opposite, or do I find someone who I'm
sometimes I would say
compatible with?
two type A personalities have a hard time being together because someone needs to be in charge and the other person wants to be in charge. But on the same note, sometimes you can get frustrated at type A with someone completely laid back. So it is so individual.
Well, when we come back, we want to learn more with you. We're going to tell women the 5 things they need to do to attract the love of a life right now. We'll be right back. We're back with Dr. Monica Mendel from Selective Search, a national matchmaking firm, talking about the 5 steps you need to do right now to attract the love of your life. And like you said, there is a formula for finding love. So if you can follow these steps, you are well on your way. And I know one of the first steps we talked about, or you told me about, is know who you are and what you want. What does that mean? I think we know what we want, but what does that really mean?
Well, a lot of times we're not totally honest with ourselves. We want what our parents want or what all of our girlfriends have, but is that what we want? So honestly, do you want to get married, or would you rather be in an exclusive forever relationship? Not everyone is looking for the altar. Also, what are you comfortable with? Do you want a long distance relationship? Would you date someone much older with children? Be honest with yourself, know your deal breakers, know your must-haves, and then you will be much more successful in trying to find someone for you.
Well, I think the thing about that, though, is sometimes we feel like we're too picky. Right. So I think that's why we're afraid to jot everything down, because then we're out there looking for this guy who may not exist. So how do you balance that with not being too picky, but still writing down what you want? Can you get everything you want? I mean...
Well, we hope we can get most of what we want.
Okay, so what's most? 70% I can be looking for?
Well, what I would say is you have to know really what's the most important for you. In other words, is it education, religion, if they've been married before, but things like how tall he is he balding? There you must be flexible because you really don't know who you'll be attracted to. Chemistry is a very hard thing to pinpoint.
Really?
So
that's interesting. I never thought
so
that.
Don't box yourself in by thinking he has to be over 5'9" or he has to have dark hair. On those things, I think you can be flexible, but on matters that you can look into
to you.
And that you look into your past relationships and you see a pattern that just didn't work, try to stay away from that, whether it be a personality type or, like I say, long-distance relationships.
Or just something that didn't work. Well, one of the things that you touched on that I wanted to bring back up is being flexible. What does that mean? Because sometimes I do think we perceive that we have a type from a physical standpoint. Like I have some girlfriends that like, if he's not 6 foot, tall, dark, and handsome, I'm not interested because I'm not going to be attracted to him. So how do you be flexible when in your mind you think you know what you're attracted to?
Because a lot of times you may write down on paper over 6 foot, dark, handsome. But then when you talk about someone and you hear all about what he does and his hobbies and interests, you think...
It kind of changes your mind a little bit.
Yeah, I'd like to meet him. Why am I stuck on that concept of tall, dark, and handsome? And what is tall, dark, and handsome? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I love that. Now, one of the other things we wanted to get to, and you talked about this, is switching up your routine. So where am I going to meet him? Do I need to go to the bar? Do you recommend going to church? What's the best place to meet?
Switch up your routine. We are all creatures of habit. We go to the same coffee shop in the morning. We do the same walking trail at night. Do everything different. Join a new club, whether it be biking or hiking. Take a walk on a trail you've never been to before. Go to a different coffee house Monday through Friday. And what's important about switching up your routine? Power down and turn off.
Oh, power down. What does that mean? That means disconnect from the world. I mean, because we're always on our cell phones.
From your phone, which I'm always on as well. Switching up your routine is extremely important. But if this is what you look like,
no man's going to come up and approach you.
The greatest guy on earth could be right in front of you. You will never know it. So make a commitment to put the cell phone in
And be
your
available.
pocketbook, look up, make eye contact, smile, see the world around you, and miraculously you will see
He will
how
appear.
many more people there are to meet.
Well, the last thing you mentioned that I thought was really important was maintain your life. And a lot of us, when we get in relationships or we start that dating process, we try to become what that person wants us to become and stop doing all the things that we love. So how do you maintain your life, and why do you think that's important?
Because when you start to date someone, if you go into their routine, 5-6 months down the pike, you're going to want to go into your routine, and then all of a sudden, that's not the person that he met. And it is a mistake that many women make. When they meet a man, they're completely into the relationship, and they don't go out with their girlfriends, and then they end up losing a major part of what is them. So do your girls' night outs.
Be you.
Be you, do a book club, continue exercising and enjoying the classes. This way, he loves you.
I love that.
He
This
loves
way he
the
loves
real
you.
you. He doesn't love the you that you've molded into just to be in the relationship.
He
but
loves
he
the
sees
real.
who you are.
I love that. And some great advice from you. I love it. We're looking for this formula. We just have to be ourselves and just allow him to come into our lives. And for more information about what you do, they can go to selectivesearch.com. And as I mentioned, an 87% success rate of matching couples. And we'll be right back.